Hey everybody, how's it going? I got a great devotion for you this morning. This is the one I was studying, and it's awesome. I had some eye-opening stuff happen to me a couple of years ago based off of part of this passage. So I'm just going to read you a little bit about it. It's talking about the Good Shepherd. And so John 10:11 says, "The Good Shepherd lays down his life for his sheep." And so it's talking about Jesus. But as we go through this, John 10:11 and 12, and then verse 14 say, "I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for his sheep. The hired hand is not the shepherd who owns the sheep. I know my sheep, and my sheep know me." And that's Jesus speaking. All right, so there's four things I just want to point out to you real quick. First, about Jesus, about Jesus being the good shepherd. First is he owns the sheep. They belong to him. Anybody in his pasture or his fold are his. Next, he guards them. He protects them. He keeps them safe. He will never abandon them, even when danger approaches. That's why it's mentioned that he's not the hired hand, because sometimes if danger got too scary or too out of hand, hired hands like, "Look, my life ain't worth that. I'm gone." The shepherd wouldn't do that. Also, he knows his sheep. He calls them by name and they follow him. His voice is one of the only voices, that may be the only voice that the sheep knows. So when somebody's working in the field and they got a sheep, they can holler and call them, and that sheep recognizes that person's voice and comes to them. Finally, he lays down his life for them. He will do anything to protect his sheep and give them life, even if that means to lay down his life for them. That doesn't mean their life is more important. That just means he loves them that much. Psalm 103 says, "We are his people and the sheep of his pasture." Listen, this is a crazy time right now. Things are really odd and different. But what we can rest assured is that if we belong to Jesus, he's going to protect us all the way up until giving his life. He knew what we had coming on the other side of the grave, so he gave his life. And I said I learned something. This was eye-opening. Probably like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I did a study through John with the middle school boys. And, we always hear, we're the sheep, Jesus is a shepherd. And so I did this study on this passage. And what I realized is sheep are dumb. And so in very polite terms, when I go back and look at this, I see that I'm being called dumb. I don't know what's best for me. That's why I have God. That's why I have Jesus as Lord of my life, because he knows what's best. He's the one taking care of everything. He's protected me. He protected me from myself. He protected me from the sin I committed. He took it. He took your sin. Is he your shepherd, though? He's mine. Have a good day.